Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're going to take a fascinating look at how one single identical scene can be spun in two completely opposite ways. We're zeroing in on commercial construction, right in the heart of Karachi, Pakistan. But hey, we aren't just looking at bricks and mortar here. We're actually examining how the artistic lens we use can totally flip our perception of reality. It's a massive reminder that the medium really is the message, and I'm super excited to dive into these visual translations with you. Let's get right into it.
Just take in the stark contrast we're dealing with. On one hand, you have a portrayal defined by this ultra-realistic 8K detail. I mean, it's dusty, it's highly cinematic, and it just carries this incredible heavy weight to it. Then, on the other flip side, you have a 4K animation that is undeniably cheerful, colorful, and bursting with vibrant energy. The crazy thing? We're talking about the exact same subject, a construction site in Karachi, but the feelings they evoke couldn't be further apart. One literally makes you feel the sweat and grit of urban development, while the other invites you into a light-hearted, playful world. Section 1. The Karachi construction scene, finding common ground. Okay, let's dive into this.
Before we get too caught up in the differences, let's establish our baseline. Because if you strip away all those stylistic choices, both portrayals are built on the exact same foundation. Both scenes show multi-story, modern architecture currently in progress. Both prominently feature towering cranes hoisting materials high into the air. Down on the ground level, cement mixers are churning away. You've got these complex scaffolding structures wrapping around partially completed buildings, and the whole thing is set against the backdrop of bright blue skies. This right here, this is the universal language of commercial construction in Karachi. It's our shared reality. But as we're about to see, how that reality gets rendered changes absolutely everything.
Section 2. The ultra-realistic vision. Grit and concrete. Pay close attention to this quote. A dusty urban environment, nearby Pakistani shops and vehicles. Right off the bat, you know this isn't some pristine, isolated bubble of architecture. The ultra-realistic 8K lens anchors the construction site firmly within the living, breathing, and honestly dusty reality of Karachi. The cinematic lighting mentioned in the source material bathes the scene in warm sunlight, sure, but it absolutely doesn't hide the grit. Instead, it really shines a spotlight on the everyday hustle of nearby shops and passing vehicles, totally grounding you in a highly detailed, everyday reality. And that gritty reality, it gets amplified even more by the materials this specific lens chooses to focus on. We're talking about reinforced concrete structures and heavy steel rebar. And the scaffolding? It's not just some generic grid. The source specifically notes it as a mix of bamboo and metal, which is a really tactile, authentic detail of South Asian construction. You've got workers wearing safety helmets and reflective vests, deep and serious, demanding labor under that warm sun. The whole aesthetic is heavy, harsh, and uncompromisingly real. It really stands as a testament to the sheer, raw physical effort it takes to push modern architectural progress forward.
Section 3. The hilarious high-rise duo, a playful perspective.
So what actually happens when we flip the script completely? What happens when we trade all that cinematic grit for playful animation? Well, central to this new lens is a deeply character-driven focus. Say hello to the high-rise duo. As our source material defines them, these are two funny, chummy, and slim best friends. They're specifically inspired by classic Indian cartoon characters, which instantly injects this massive dose of nostalgia and family-friendly warmth into the scene. Now sure, they're still wearing the necessary safety gear, the yellow safety helmets, the orange reflective jackets, the work boots, but those vibrant colors and cheerful expressions, they completely neutralize the inherent danger and grit of a real-world construction site. And honestly, this is where the transformation becomes like magic. Backbreaking labor is just entirely reimagined. The source describes them building with bricks, cement, and steel rods, but watch the action. You've got one character carrying cement while the other humorously tries to balance bricks. It takes the truly grueling reality of lifting heavy masonry and turns it into a comedic balancing act. The tower crane and cement mixer are still right there in the background, complete with a cinematic composition, but this playful 4K animation style has completely transformed a highly demanding work environment into a stage for physical comedy and best friend antics.
Section 4. Comparing the two portrayals. Details in the differences.
Now, what's really interesting about how this breaks down is when we put both lenses side by side to map out where they diverge. Let's look at the workers feature first. The ultra-realistic lens gives us these anonymous safety-helmeted laborers, representing the workforce as a whole collective. But the animated lens? It gives us the chubby and slim best friends, highly specific, super relatable characters. Next up, look at the tone.
We transition from dusty and cinematic, which evokes a sense of awe and harsh reality, over to cheerful and vibrant, which is just all about joy and entertainment. And finally, materials. While both are clearly using construction materials, the 8K lens highlights reinforced concrete and steel rebar to emphasize structural weight. The 4K animation focuses on bricks and humorously balanced cement just to set up a visual gag. The filter literally dictates the entire story being told here.
Section 5. Two Visions of One City. The Power of the Lens.
Synthesizing all these findings, the overarching takeaway becomes crystal clear. The filter of media completely changes our perception. Through one lens, the creator essentially forces us to confront a gritty marvel of modern architecture. We almost feel the heat, the dust, and the immense, looming scale of urban development. But through the other lens, that exact same development is transformed into a playful, family-friendly backdrop. The medium itself completely dictates our understanding of the everyday labor happening out there in the city. One view absolutely demands our respect for the toil, while the other invites our laughter and affection for the characters.
All of this brilliantly illustrates a really vital question that we have to ask ourselves as consumers of media and art. Which lens best captures the true spirit of Karachi's architectural progress? Is it that uncompromising, dusty realism of the 8K render that honors the heavy, physical toll of building a sprawling city? Or is it the cheerful, vibrant 4K animation that, in its own way, maybe captures the resilient, optimistic, and deeply human spirit of the people actually doing the building? Remember, both of these are derived from the exact same reality, yet they leave us with entirely different truths. I am going to leave you to ponder that question. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the lens through which you view the world.